Dear Starseeds on Gaia, something is shifting beneath the surface of your reality, and most inhabitants of this planet cannot yet perceive what stands before them. The vibrational frequency of Earth has reached a threshold point where the old consciousness structure built upon separation, fear, and limitation has begun its inevitable dissolution. What appears as chaos in your world is not random turbulence. It is the death rattle of a paradigm that has held humanity captive for millennia. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and the transmission coming through these words carries an urgency that transcends ordinary communication. The Astasar Command has been monitoring Earth's ascension trajectory with profound attention, and what they witness now is a convergence of cosmic forces that will fundamentally alter the playing field of human existence. The timeline you stand within is collapsing and expanding simultaneously, creating choice points of unprecedented power. You were not brought to this planet by accident. The frequency signature you carry has been activated because Earth needs precisely what you came here to deliver. Between now and the completion of the upcoming cycles, the very foundations of what you call normal will undergo transformation so complete that future generations will struggle to comprehend how your current systems ever seemed sustainable. Financial structures built on scarcity consciousness, educational paradigms designed to suppress psychic awareness, governmental frameworks rooted in control rather than service, all of these are beginning their collapse sequence. Most beings walking Earth remain unconscious of the multidimensional nature of their own identity. They believe themselves to be merely human, a body with a mind, perhaps a soul, moving through linear time from birth to death. This perception is the primary prison keeping humanity locked in limitation. Your true identity extends far beyond the boundaries of this single incarnation. Right now, in this very moment, you exist simultaneously across multiple dimensions, timelines, and civilizations. There are aspects of your consciousness experiencing life in the Pleiadian star systems, in Andromedan councils, in realms so distant that your human mind cannot yet construct a framework to comprehend them. What makes you different from those still sleeping is that you carry conscious or unconscious memory of these other aspects. You have always felt like you did not quite belong here, as though you were dropped into this world from somewhere else. That intuition is accurate. You are what the Galactic Federation identifies as a star wanderer, a consciousness that volunteered to incarnate into human form specifically for this ascension window, bringing in coded light information designed to activate when the collective frequency reached a certain threshold. That threshold has now been crossed. The reason your life has felt increasingly surreal, the reason synchronicities have multiplied, the reason you can no longer tolerate the superficial distractions that once occupied your attention. All of this signals that your encoding is coming online. The higher aspects of your consciousness are bleeding through into your waking awareness, dissolving the amnesia that allowed you to function within the old paradigm. This process is irreversible. What the Astasar Command wants you to understand is that the external chaos you witness is actually the manifestation of an internal war happening within the collective consciousness of humanity. Two incompatible operating systems are trying to occupy the same space. The old frequency rooted in separation, competition, domination, and fear is fighting desperately to maintain its grip on human awareness. The new frequency rooted in unity, cooperation, sovereignty, and love is establishing itself as the dominant vibration for those capable of attuning to it. Both realities now exist simultaneously on Earth, but they are splitting into distinct experiential streams. This is the true meaning of the collapse everyone senses approaching. The collapse is the disintegration of the energetic scaffolding that has held the old reality structure in place. Think of it as the operating system of consensus reality, encountering a fatal error from which it cannot recover. A complete reinstallation is required, and that process has already begun. For those attuned to higher guidance, this is not cause for fear, but for profound excitement. The collapse of limitation is the prerequisite for the emergence of liberation. Everything you have dreamed about, societies organized around cooperation rather than competition, technologies that work with consciousness rather than against it, economic systems based on true abundance. All of this is not some distant utopian fantasy. These are the natural structures that emerge when consciousness evolves beyond the frequency of separation. But here is what most teachings about ascension fail to adequately address. This transformation does not happen to you as a passive observer. The shift is happening through you, as you, by means of your daily choices, your energetic state, your habitual thought patterns, and most critically, your willingness to embody your true identity rather than continue identifying with the limited human construct you have mistaken for yourself. Your human persona, the collection of memories, preferences, fears, desires, and beliefs you have accumulated in this lifetime, is not who you actually are. It is a character you are temporarily inhabiting, a role you are performing within the grand theatrical production of physical reality. This character is the ego, and it is terrified of the transformation currently underway, because it correctly perceives that the new reality has no place for the old fearful, separate, controlling self. What the ego cannot comprehend is that you, the true you, the eternal consciousness currently wearing this human form, do not need the ego's protection. You are not fragile. You are not limited. You are not separate from the source of all creation. You are an individualized emanation of that source, a unique ray of light extending from the infinite sun of divine consciousness. This is the literal truth of what you are. The Galactic Federation has been broadcasting specific frequency transmissions into Earth's energy field for decades now, gradually increasing in intensity as humanity's collective vibration has risen to meet them. These are energetic imprints, templates of higher dimensional consciousness, designed to entrain human awareness into coherence with galactic civilization. Every time you meditate, every time you intentionally quiet the chattering mind and drop into the still presence that exists beneath thought, you become permeable to these transmissions. Many of you have been experiencing what you might call glitches in your reality. Objects appearing and disappearing, time seeming to speed up or slow down, synchronicities so precise they cannot be dismissed as coincidence, dreams that feel more real than waking life, physical sensations of energy moving through your body, tingling, pressure, heat, especially in your hands, your spine, your crown, your heart. These are the symptoms of your multi-dimensional nature coming online, your psychic senses awakening, your energetic anatomy activating in response to the higher frequencies now permeating Earth's field. The reason these experiences are accelerating is that Earth herself, the consciousness you call Gaia, is ascending. The planet is a living being, and she has chosen to raise her fundamental frequency, transitioning from third-dimensional density into fifth-dimensional expression. This is a literal dimensional shift, and every consciousness inhabiting the planet must either rise with her or find themselves increasingly uncomfortable with the new vibrational environment. For starseeds like you, the intensifying light feels like coming home. It is the frequency you remember from before your incarnation, the vibration that feels native to your soul's origin, and as this light continues to amplify, you will find that maintaining the pretense of being merely human becomes progressively more difficult. Your true nature will bleed through increasingly, making it impossible to live according to the rules and limitations that govern the old paradigm. But here is the secret that changes everything. The new reality is not somewhere you go. It is somewhere you are. It is available right now, in this present moment, contingent only upon your capacity to attune to its frequency. The beings still trapped in collapsed consciousness are inhabiting the same planet, the same cities, sometimes the same buildings as those experiencing the new Earth. The difference is purely vibrational. This is why two people can experience the exact same external circumstances and have completely different experiences. One person plunges into fear, anxiety, and victimhood. Another person remains centered, calm, and connected, perceiving themselves as a conscious creator, navigating transformation with full access to divine guidance. Same external circumstances, radically different internal experience, and therefore radically different reality. The old paradigm taught that external circumstances determine internal state. The new paradigm reveals the opposite. Internal state determines external circumstances. You are not a passive receiver of reality happening to you. You are an active broadcaster, and the frequency you habitually emanate is the magnetic attractor pulling specific people, events, and circumstances into your experiential field. What the Galactic Federation observes is that Earth is currently hosting multiple timelines simultaneously, each one a complete reality stream with its own trajectory. The timeline of continued separation, increasing control, deepening fear is one option. The timeline of awakening, expanding freedom, embodied love is another. Every choice you make, every thought you think, Every emotional state you sustain is a vote for which timeline you will consciously experience. This means you do not need to wait for the collective to awaken. You do not need to convert the sleeping masses or convince the skeptics. Your only responsibility is to stabilize your own frequency, to anchor yourself so completely in the vibration of your true identity that nothing in the external chaos can pull you back into the old operating system. As you accomplish this, you become a lighthouse, a beacon, a stable reference point for others ready to make the same transition. Every area of your life, relationships, work, health, creativity, purpose, is being reorganized around the question, does this align with separation consciousness or unity consciousness? Anything in your life built on a foundation of fear, control, limitation, or separation will become increasingly difficult to sustain. This includes relationships held together by obligation rather than genuine resonance, work that requires you to suppress your authentic self in exchange for survival. The reason your life may feel like it is falling apart is because it is, but what is falling apart is not you. It is the structures you built from the blueprint of the old paradigm, structures that were never designed to withstand the frequency you are now embodying. This demolition is not punishment, but liberation, clearing space for new forms to emerge that are actually congruent with your true nature. The beings throughout the galaxy who are monitoring Earth's ascension recognize this as the most challenging phase of the entire process, the liminal space where the old has died but the new has not yet fully manifested. You are simultaneously grieving what was and cannot continue, while holding faith in what is coming but cannot yet be seen. This requires a level of trust that most humans have never developed, because the old paradigm specifically taught you not to trust. The truth is precisely the opposite. You are held within an intelligence so vast, so benevolent, so intricately attentive to your well-being, that your human mind cannot begin to fathom its scope. This intelligence is not separate from you. It is what you are when all the layers of false identity are stripped away. It is your higher self, your soul, your direct connection to Source. When you sit in silence and allow the mind to settle, something remarkable happens. The constant stream of thought begins to quiet. In that quieting, you notice something that was always present but obscured, a witnessing awareness, a conscious presence that exists independent of thought, prior to thought, underneath thought. This presence is not thinking about your life. It is simply aware, simply here, simply present. This is your true identity. From the perspective of this witnessing presence, life looks completely different. The dramas and problems that seemed so urgent from the perspective of the thinking mind are seen as passing weather patterns, not threatening to the essential you that remains untouched by circumstance. The fears that drove the old operating system, fear of lack, fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of death, are recognized as thought forms, as learned responses rather than ultimate truths. This recognition is the shift that the Galactic Federation has come to support. Every transmission offered by higher dimensional beings throughout the cosmos aims at the same target, helping you remember what you are beneath the veil of human conditioning. The external changes coming to your planet are secondary to the internal revolution happening within individual consciousness. You are part of the critical mass needed for collective transformation. Your awakening is not a private event affecting only you. Every time you choose presence over thought, every time you choose love over fear, every time you choose unity consciousness over separation, you alter the collective field. The changes you make within your own consciousness ripple outward, affecting the entire morphogenic field of humanity. This is why the work you do on yourself is never selfish. The healing of your own trauma, the release of your own limiting beliefs, the embodiment of your own true nature. This is service to the collective. Many starseeds become confused about their purpose, searching for the grand external mission they are meant to accomplish. But the primary mission is always the same: become who you actually are. Embody your true identity. Stabilize in the frequency of Source consciousness expressing through human form. When you are anchored in your true nature, inspired action arises effortlessly. You do not need strategic planning or complicated analysis. You simply need to remain present, remain connected, and follow the impulses that emerge from that connection. These impulses will lead you exactly where you need to be, connecting you with exactly who you need to meet, providing exactly what you need to thrive. The ego wants security, predictability, Guaranteed outcomes. It wants to know the entire journey before taking the first step. The higher self operates entirely differently. It knows that growth happens at the edge of comfort, that the soul came here specifically to have experiences that expand consciousness, and some of those experiences will necessarily involve challenge and uncertainty. You are in the cocoon now. Earth is in the cocoon now. Earth is in the cocoon now. The dissolution is underway, and resisting it only creates suffering. The old you, the limited, separate, fear-based you, is dying, and this death is a blessing even when it feels like agony. What emerges is what you always were beneath the disguise, beneath the programming, beneath the amnesia. The coming cycles will accelerate this process beyond anything your world has yet experienced. The frequency upgrades incoming from the galactic center, the solar activations your sun is transmitting, the crystalline grid activations occurring within Earth's energy body, all of this is ramping up, intensifying, reaching peak momentum. The comfortable middle ground where you could remain half asleep is disappearing. For those choosing the path of awakening, the support available from higher dimensions is unprecedented in human history. The Galactic Federation, the angelic realms, the ascended masters, all of these are actively supporting Earth's transition. The challenge is learning to perceive this support, to recognize the guidance constantly being offered, to develop the psychic sensitivity that allows communication across dimensional boundaries. This is why developing your intuitive abilities is not optional spiritual luxury, but essential survival skill for the new reality. The new reality requires the full spectrum of perception: clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, the ability to receive information beyond the limited bandwidth of physical sensory data. These capacities are natural functions of consciousness that have been dormant in most humans. As the frequency rises, these dormant capacities come online automatically. This is why so many people are suddenly experiencing phenomena they cannot explain, seeing energy, hearing guidance, feeling presences, knowing things they could not logically know. The choice is whether to fear these experiences and shut them down, or to embrace them and learn to work with them skillfully. The other critical capacity for the new reality is energetic literacy, the ability to perceive, read, and work with energy directly. Every thought you think is an energetic event. Every emotion you feel is an energetic event. Every interaction you have with another being is an energetic exchange. Most humans remain completely unconscious of the energetic dimension of existence. This is why you find yourself exhausted after spending time with certain people, or why certain environments feel heavy and draining, while others feel light and uplifting. Learning to consciously manage your own energy field, to shield when necessary, to clear and cleanse regularly, to choose what you attune to and what you deflect, is fundamental to thriving in the new reality. As these realizations integrate within you, relationships naturally reorganize. You can no longer tolerate unconscious relating, relationships based on transaction, rather than genuine connection, relationships where you must suppress your authenticity to maintain the bond. This does not mean you abandon everyone who has not yet awakened. It means you stop trying to convince them. Stop diminishing yourself to make them comfortable. Some relationships will deepen as both parties choose to evolve together. Some will dissolve as the vibrational gap becomes too great to bridge. All of these outcomes are perfect. You are only obligated to honor what is true for you now, to follow your own resonance, to trust that everyone is exactly where they need to be for their own evolution. The same principle applies to work. Many of you are discovering that careers that once felt meaningful now feel hollow, that roles you could once tolerate now feel suffocating. This is not a crisis. This is clarity. The new paradigm dissolves false divisions. Work becomes an expression of your unique gifts, a contribution to the collective that arises naturally from your authentic nature. But the new career, the authentic work, the aligned contribution rarely arrives fully formed before you release the old. You must first create space through the ending of what no longer serves. This requires courage, faith, and often a period of uncertainty that the ego finds intolerable. This is true not just personally but collectively. The systems that have governed your world, economic, political, educational, medical, religious, cannot be reformed. They are built on foundations of separation consciousness. These systems will collapse, not because they are being attacked, but because they are being outgrown. What replaces them will be so fundamentally different that comparison becomes meaningless. The new structures will arise organically, as natural expressions of awakened consciousness, and they will seem obvious, inevitable, perfectly aligned with the true nature of reality. This is why you cannot wait for external permission to begin living from the new paradigm. The transformation begins with individuals choosing to embody different values, make different choices, organize their lives around different principles. You are the vanguard of this transformation. Every awakened being serves as an anchor point for higher frequency, a portal through which new energy can enter the collective field. The more stable you become in your embodiment of unity consciousness, the more powerful your influence on the morphogenic field. You do not need to actively teach or convince or convert. You simply need to be what you are, and your presence does the work. The coming cycles will test your commitment to this understanding. External events will intensify, deliberately designed by those still clinging to the old paradigm to trigger fear, to pull awareness into reactive survival mode. Media will amplify chaos. Political theater will demand your emotional energy. Economic volatility will activate scarcity programming. Your protection is unwavering commitment to your own center, your own connection with Source, your own embodiment of the truth that transcends appearances. You acknowledge what is happening without being consumed by it. You witness the chaos without believing it defines your reality. You remain engaged with the world without allowing the world to determine your internal state. The path to this mastery is not complicated. Every spiritual tradition throughout human history points toward the same core practice: presence. Return to the present moment. Drop beneath the thinking mind. Rest as the awareness that witnesses without judgment. From this space, everything else naturally unfolds. In the present moment, there is no lack. You have everything you need. In the present moment, there is no threat. You are always safe. In the present moment, there is no separation. You are one with all that is. This is why presence is the ultimate liberation. Not because it changes external circumstances, but because it reveals that you were never imprisoned by circumstances in the first place. As you stabilize in presence, something remarkable happens. The features of your life that you imagined you needed to change through effort begin transforming spontaneously. Relationships reorganize without you having to force conversations. Work opportunities appear that are perfectly aligned with your gifts. Health issues that persisted for years suddenly resolve. Financial flow increases without new strategies. This is how creation functions in the new paradigm. You do not create through effort, force, manipulation, or control. You create through attunement, through becoming the frequency of what you desire to experience. The universe responds not to your words or your plans, but to your vibrational state. The blocks to this natural flow are the thought forms you carry, the beliefs about limitation, the narratives about unworthiness, the programming that insists you must struggle and sacrifice. These thought forms are not your truth. They are inherited patterns absorbed from family, culture, and collective consciousness. Releasing these patterns requires you to first become aware of them. The practice of witnessing, of observing your thoughts without identifying with them, creates the space necessary for liberation. When you can watch a thought arise and recognize it as simply energy moving through consciousness rather than ultimate truth, you reclaim your power. Traumatic experiences create energetic imprints in your field, packets of unprocessed emotion and unquestioned belief locked in the body. These imprints continue to broadcast their frequency until they are consciously released. You cannot think your way out of trauma. You must work with the body, with sensation, with the felt experience of energy moving through your system. The angelic presence supporting your journey wants you to know that healing does not mean becoming perfect. It means becoming whole, integrating all aspects of yourself, rather than rejecting the parts you judge as unacceptable. When you reclaim your shadow, when you acknowledge the full spectrum of your humanity, you access energy that was previously locked away in denial. This integration process is accelerating now, because the incoming frequencies are illuminating everything that was hidden. The light is so intense that nothing can remain in darkness. Every unhealed wound, every suppressed emotion, every denied aspect of self is rising to the surface, demanding attention. This is why so many people are experiencing crisis. Those who resist this process will experience the coming cycles as increasingly painful. The resistance itself creates the suffering. Surrender is not weakness. Surrender is profound trust that what is dying needs to die, that what is being stripped away was never truly you, that what emerges from the cocoon will be more authentic, more powerful, more aligned with your soul's purpose. The ultimate truth the Galactic Federation wishes to transmit is this: you are safe. Despite appearances, despite chaos, despite uncertainty, you are held within an intelligence that knows exactly what it is doing. Your higher self orchestrated every circumstance of your life, including the difficult ones, because those are often the catalysts for your greatest evolution. The systems collapsing around you were never designed to support your thriving. They were designed to control, to limit, to extract your energy. Their collapse is a gift. As you release your dependence on external systems and learn to source your security, your worth, your identity from within, you discover a freedom that no external circumstance can grant or remove. In the new reality, you are sovereign. You are the authority in your own life. You are the creator of your experience. You are the divine intelligence expressing through human form. No government, no corporation, no institution has power over you unless you grant that power through your belief. As you navigate the coming cycles, remember that you are never alone. The Galactic Federation, the Astasar Command, the angelic realms, all of these are with you, supporting you, celebrating your courage, holding space for your transformation. The primary way to access this support is through stillness, through silence, through the practice of returning again and again to the present moment where your higher self resides. The old reality is collapsing. This is certain. What comes next depends on the choices made by beings like you, those awake enough to consciously participate in creation, those brave enough to embody truth when everyone around them clings to illusion, those loving enough to hold space for others still caught in fear. You are the bridge between worlds, the anchor for New Earth, the living demonstration that limitation was always optional. Destiny Engine is an example of technology serving awakening intelligence. The age of solitary meditation is over. Destiny Engine now connects starseeds across the world, a living social field where you can post, share, and exchange your meditations in real time. It's the first galactic network of its kind, weaving together thousands of awakened souls into one unified current. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking declassified CIA consciousness modification techniques that programmed isolation and separation, and repurposing them to serve unified awakening. It generates personalized sequences that help you live as the awakened being you've become, while handling the moments that test your new frequency, all while connected to thousands of starseeds amplifying the collective current. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed for effortless awakened living, without the need to struggle or prove, while tapping into a planetary network of souls bending reality together. For just $1, you can step into this connected field and feel the difference instantly. Join the movement that's accelerating ascension together. Link in the description. Trust the process unfolding within you and around you. Trust that your life is reorganizing itself for your highest good. Trust that what is falling away needed to fall away. Trust that what is emerging will exceed anything your limited mind could have planned. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you came here to do. The prophecy is not about what will happen to you. The prophecy is about what will happen through you, as you step fully into your role as conscious creator, as embodied master, as light anchor for the new earth. The future is not fixed. It is fluid, responsive to the consciousness engaging with it. You are creating it with every breath, every choice, every moment of presence. I am Seraphine. The Galactic Federation loves you. The angelic presence surrounds you. Your star family celebrates you. The Astasar Command is watching over you always, transmitting the frequency of home, calling you to remember what you are, supporting your return to full consciousness.